another video. Uh-oh. Come on, girlie. Sit up there. I need to do it today. My little table is getting cluttered. So I need to clear off some stuff. The projects I've been finished with. Okay, so today I want you to come along with me. I'm going to make a loop tassel earring. I love making these. They're a little tedious, but the outcome is beautiful. Isn't that pretty? It's really, really pretty. And I'm making these Juneteenth colors. This is a popular earring on the webpage. And I need to turn it a little bit. Sometimes if your hook doesn't line up just right, you just pinch it at the bottom and just turn it gently, okay? Because sometimes they'll snap, but just gently turn it so it hangs right when your customer puts them on, or when you put them on. You want them to hang right, okay? But isn't that pretty? Yes. So we're going to make this today. This is the loop tassel earring. So I have 4 different colors. So I have gold, green, red, and black. And then we close it off with the black. Okay? So remember what I told you, put your colors, especially when you're working with multiple colors, you want to put them in a box. So get you a box, and I always use this box. I just put it together and I put it to the side. This is specifically for this task. Okay, and so then what you're going to do is, and another thing when you're making yarn earrings, if you can get that yarn to come out the center, it feeds off better when it comes out of the center. So see, I have all of mine coming out of the center. It just feeds better instead of, where the box is good for if it doesn't have a center. That the skein will stay in the box if you have to be pulling it and the skein is moving. Okay, so that's when you get your line from the outside of the skein. But I love when I can find it in the inside of the skein. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side, and I'll be able to feed off of it. So what I've done here is I've done some, because I have to make a stock to put in the store. So these are 6 inches. And I was able to get 6 on each board. Okay, so it's a 6-inch board, and I was able to get 6 earrings, 6 tassels on each board. Okay, so I'm going to show you on this one to wrap. Okay, so we have 4. We usually like to at least do have 40 strands, 40 wounds for earring, depending on the size for the 6-inch. But let's see, so we have 4 strands, so we would have to do 10 wounds. But you know what, on these, because you can't have it too thick. Let me see how many strands I have on here. Let's see, 3, 6, 8, 10, 13, 15, 17, 20, 23, 6, 7, 28. Okay, so I have 28 wounds. So 28 strands. Okay, so that will be, so 4 times 7. is 28. So we're going to do 7 wounds, okay, with 4 strands. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Got an entanglement. Yeah. Come on out of there. Okay, now I lost count. Okay, let's start over. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Okay, so that's 7. And get my scissors here. I'm going to cut this. And then we take it and we tuck it in the back so it holds it in place like so. Okay. Now if I can get this yarn to act right. Now when I'm just sitting and winding, the yarn acts proper. I guess it may be camera shy. Maybe that's what it is. But it's acting up today. That's for sure. Okay. And then too, I guess it depends on how the machine does it when it's winding it. I don't know, but sometimes it just acts up. Okay, I'm gonna get it. The black and the gold is fine. It's just this red and green that's connecting. But you don't never want to just be cutting it. Just tussle with it for a second. Okay? Okay, here we go. All right, so 7 strands. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Okay, 7 strands. There we go. Okay, so that's the 6th one for this board. So then that's going to give us 6, 12, 18. That's 9 pairs of earrings. Okay? Okay, so now we're just going to work with just the black. So now what we do is make sure, always put your number on here, okay? So you know your top from your bottom, because you don't want to accidentally tie off at the bottom. Then you're going to lose some strands, okay? So you always look at that, where your mark is, and go to the top. Now I'm going to go behind each tassel, like so. And then it's going to look like this, okay? And you can pull that last one up. Then you're going to go in between each tassel and pull the string up. Hold on to it so it doesn't pull from here, okay? Like so. And just creating tie-off loops, all right? And then the last one. Now the last one, cut it. Make sure you left enough so you could tie it off, okay? Now here, you can do 2, 3 at a time, whatever's comfortable for you. And cut them off. Make sure you don't pull from the next tassel like this and tie off with this, because now you're going to have to redo it over, okay? So make sure that you have it like so. It's supposed to look like this, okay? Just like that. So that first one, you're going to tie it off. You're going to tie it in a knot. Tie it snug, but not tight. Okay, because you don't want it to change the look of your earring. But even though these are going to be covered, so it's fine. Like so. I did those other ones green, but they're going to be covered, so it doesn't matter. Now, when you're just doing the regular tassel earrings, you want to make sure your colors match. You don't want somebody walking around with, because you can see the tie off at the top. See, like this one here. See, this is the tie off right here. But if I was going to make this into just a regular yarn earring, you can see the tie off at the top. That's where your hook is going to go, latch on to. So when you're making just the regular tassels, you want to make sure your tie offs match for a pair of earrings. Okay, you don't want to have a green tie off and then a red tie off. That's not. No. You don't want that. You don't want to do that. Okay, I don't know if I'm just a little perfectionist, but yeah, you want your earrings. Is their pair, so they are supposed to match. Okay, and if you happen to make a mistake and do it, then you just gotta redo it. You gotta retie it over. Okay, because you want to sell, especially if you're selling things. Now, if you're making something for you to wear and you don't mind it, then that's okay. But when you're selling things, you want to make quality items. That's what you want, because you want your customers to keep coming back. Okay? All right, so we got these. And then when you take them off your board, just slide them off like so. Slide them off and line them up. Okay? Like so. Like that. See? So these are 6-inch. We're making loop tassels. Now, when you make them, when you do this part of making the yarn earring, you can turn these into whatever you want to. They could be loop tassels. They could be the regular tassels. They can be the I have different styles that I do. I have the regular tassel, which is just a small yarn section here. Then I have what I call the twisted tassel, which is where I wind and I close the tassel off. You know, like, so once you cut them, then you take this and you spin it around, but we don't have to do that for these, but I just want to show you real quick since it's on my mind. But the twisted tassels that I do, I close it off, and it's a long close off. It goes like almost down to the bottom, leaves like a little skirt at the bottom. And then I have another one where I do the tie off here. I leave a space, and then I do a tie off here. And I think that's the only ones that I do, I think. And then I have one more where I do the tie off starting like here, and I'll go to right about here. So it's a thicker one instead of the short one. Okay. Okay. So got that. So put our board over here. Now, when you cut your tassels, remember, especially when you just take them off the board, see that gap in there? They have a gap in there. So you don't even have to really search. Just go in there with your scissors and cut like so. Okay, but if they've been sitting, because sometimes I'll get to this part like this, and then I'll put them in a tray and leave them and come back to them. And what the yarn will do, it'll flush. So then I have to go in and find. And so you just go right there where your tie off is. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not, depending on the yarn you're using. Find the opening. Put your scissors in there. Hold on to those bunny ears and cut. And it's simple as that. Okay? I meant to put something down. I don't like getting yarn. It sticks to my silicone. Let's see. Yeah, it sticks to my silicone mat that I use for resin making. Okay, so now this is another thing. You know, sometimes you got to figure out tricks to do when you're working with things. Once you start working with them, you'll discover that, hey, is there something else I could do? So it's not so hard to do. I mean, because when you're doing the loop, and say you just do it the regular way, okay? You put your black, what you closing it off with. So we're using black. You can use any color, okay? Long as it matches, all right? But it's hard to hold on to this and you're looping, okay? So what I do, my little looping trick is I put my clothes off yarn on there. And remember, you got this little short piece right here, okay? Your tie off. So I get a soft band, not a rubber band, a soft band, because a rubber band will, the yarn can stick to the rubber band and, you know, it might create a little problem. But I like using soft bands. So I find the end of that tie off. And then I take the soft band and I put it on here to hold it, because I'm going to remove that soft band. I'm not going to leave it on there. And so then I move it down to the end, and then I start my loop right here. Because it's hard to hold it. I used to use clips, but then the clip would get in the way. So I started using the soft band. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your strand and you're going to go around the yarn. And you want to make sure to get close to, see, it's a little tedious, but once it's done, it's like, hey, that's a nice earring. And see, that's what you're trying to get started. That right there. But stay close, because you don't, now even if you have the same color, you still want to stay close, because you'll be able to see through those strands, okay? And you don't want it to look like that. You want it to look like this, how it's all fleshed together, all right? And so you'll get used to it. You just got to keep your eye on the previous strand. See? See how it's coming out? And then you just keep going. And keep going. And sometimes you might have to do like that. Because see, especially if you have these light colors, you don't want them peeking through your loop, okay? So you want to just keep going. And don't do it real tight. Just do it snug. Okay? Then when you get to that tie off, just be very mindful and just keep going over it, and it'll flush right in there like it's supposed to. Okay, like so. See, we're getting there. Yeah, I got a bunch of these to make just so I can restock. I like to restock with like at least a dozen pair. So this will make 10. And these are beautiful. You wear them. Oh, people, yes, they notice. They notice. You know, I have a pair. Yes, I do. I love these. Juneteenth is coming up. So, yes, yes, yes. If you're planning on going to some festivities. Okay, so now you got to keep up with your length. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're going to do a couple more strands. Okay, so now you want to, so see? So now you want to bring it together. I think that's where that, see? I have to go over that part again. I didn't do that part snug enough. I think that's where the tie is at. Because see, I'm bending it, but see what's happening right there? I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little bump right there. So I'm going to go back a little bit. I don't like how that looks. Okay. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so that's what it is. It's where the tie off is at. Okay, so now I just need to flush with it. Like so. I just had to get it a little snugger around that part. Just a little bit tighter. Because, yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like how that piece was. I'm still doing it a little bit. Maybe I can figure out something else. How to, okay, because I don't want to make this a drag out fight video with the yarn. So let's see. You know, and sometimes the yarn be trying to do what it want to do. But I think we got it this time. Okay. And so now we need to keep up with, so see, we got to go down a little bit further. Not too much. Maybe 5. Lost count. Okay, let's see. We're trying to even it up at the bottom as much as we can. Okay. Now, because when we tie it, we have to tie this off. Okay? So we got our piece here. So now I'm going to remove this band. I'm going to take the band off. Okay. So now I got the band off. Remember, don't turn that piece loose because it'll loosen up your earring, your tassel. Okay, so now, so this is going to be my front. So I need to make sure everything about it is looking okay. Okay. So now what you do is you're going to hold them both together. Like so. And then you're going to start where it's black at. And remember, keep it fleshed. Keep it fleshed. And then you can shape. And when you make earrings, what I've noticed when you make these yarn tassels like to sell, sometimes, because see how it looks a little different. This one looks a little smaller. But when you make a bunch of them, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the yarn spirit or what. But you will find that each one has a match. It's really weird to me. It sounds a little, woo-woo, but each one will have a match to it. You'll match them up because that's what I do. I take them and I put them next to each other. If they don't look close enough alike to me, then I'll grab another one. And they always have a match. Always. It never fails. I don't know what that is that does that. But, okay, so we keep going around. We don't want to go around too much. Okay, but you keep going around. Like so. So remember, this is going to be our front. So we're going to tie it off in the back. Okay, so you lay it down because you always want the front to be the best looking side. Then we grab a black from the strand and we tie it off. Okay, so then we're just going to hold it up. No matter where you cut it. You don't want to waste yarn though. Okay, so now remember in the front we got our tie off. See that little piece? We got to get rid of that because that will come out in an opportune moment. So we flush as much as we can. Be careful of the other yarn and snip that off. All right, like so. Hey, isn't that cute? Yes. Let's see. See if y'all look. Yeah, no, they don't look. See, they don't look alike. But I will guarantee you at the end of the day, when I get done with all of these, there's going to be, they're going to pair up with one of the other earrings. Okay? So now what we're going to do is, I forgot the green, because usually I'll put them on the cards that I have. Let me see. Let me get one. Get a card. And then that's when I cut them. So these are the earring cards that I make. It has all my, it's my business card and my earring card all in one. Instead of me giving people, just doing cards, blank cards, and then having to give them a business card with their order. No, this is the business card right here. Okay. So normally what I do is I will put it on the card. I'll put the pair on there and then I'll trim them off. Because I want them to be even together. I want them to be the same length. Okay, so normally that's what I do. So now we're going to take this. So it's tied off. It's ready to be groomed. Okay, wait, we got to put our hook. Let's put our hook on here. Okay, here's our hook. So now with these, it's a little tricky. putting that hook on there because this loop is so thick. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to find your center. So if you put your finger in there like this, that top, that's your center of the earring. Okay, so you want to make sure you stay in that area. And then this is your front of your earring. This is the back. Where the knot is always the back. So wherever you close it off, you tie it off at, that's always the back. Okay, so this is the front. And this is the center right here. So we got to stay in this area with our hook. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to open your hook up and you got to kind of dive down in this one because it's so thick. All right, and make sure you got enough hook to come up where you can see it peeking. Then when you grab your wire pliers and you start to close it off, then the hook is going to come, that piece is going to come up out of there. And then you just turn it like so. And there it is. Okay? Like that. See it? Okay, so now we got that part. So now you could even use your, what do I do with the board? Put it somewhere up here. Oh, here it is. You could even use your board that you wind with and put it on the board. Make sure you groom it down so that all the long ones are going to stick out. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to trim it off. Okay. But then once I get it paired up, I will put them together again. Remember, always keep your trash can. You're going to always have stuff that got to go in the trash. Keep your trash can near your workspace. These some good scissors. I got these. This 6-pack. They sharp too. I got them from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. But these are good yarn cutting scissors. Okay, so see? But I need to trim it off some more. But you get the idea of what I'm talking about. Okay? And so there we have it. Another perfect earring. Okay? So hopefully, yeah, we about at our thing. 33 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe. And then if you know somebody that makes earrings, they sell earrings, or they're thinking about starting to make and sell earrings, tell them about my page. And trust me, these earrings do sell. Everybody doesn't like making their own earrings, and they will buy them. But they're looking for quality product. Okay, so you want to always make sure your product is quality product. Quantity is nice. Quality is always better. Okay, so and then you start wearing your stuff. If you selling, yeah, you be your own billboard. Wear your stuff. People gonna be, where you get them earrings from? Oh, pull a card out, and give it to them, and tell them anytime they're looking for some accessories to stop on by your website. And I make stock. So if you see something on my store, it's already made. Okay, and I just pick and pack and ship orders out. But because it kind of gives me anxiety to, if somebody orders something and then I got to go make it. It's like, oh my God. Now, if it's somebody that asks me to make a particular color, then that's fine. But, when you got a bunch of orders coming in and you got to go make the product, It can be overwhelming, especially when you're trying to get it done and get it out in a timely manner. Okay, so that's another thing. People want to see that their package is their order is coming. Okay, they want to see some progress with it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is nice. So I will be finishing up these today so I can get them in the store. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, I'm trying to think of some other videos that I can do. I think I'm gonna try my hand at making a denim. It's a soft bracelet though, like a snap closure bracelet. I'm gonna try that maybe this weekend. I'll try it. I got a lot of stuff. I've been just really busy. Busy, 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 busy. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it and I look forward to doing another video. Okay? All right, and remember you could do these in any color and have fun doing them. Okay? All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.